This is Maurice Skillern again with another project. You all have seen me work on my motorcycle. You've seen me build a doghouse. Now this project is a project where it's more health and fitness based. What I mean by that is, for me, when I look at the world, and you also probably, you will see or find that most of the cancers in the world are found in the more industrialized nations. For me, the nations with chemicals. The more chemicals we use, it's my belief that these are the things that, after they build up in your system long enough, can cause those free radicals in your body that can cause cancerous growths and whatnot. And we see that with smoking when we look at everything that's in there, and lung cancer and all that stuff. So for me, that motivates me to move toward more of a organic compound, organic food, organic deodorants, organic things I put on my body on a regular, or in my body on a regular basis. You know, maybe it won't cure cancer if I'm meant to have it, but I want to give myself whatever edge I can get, and that's what I'm reaching for. This project here is making my own lotion. If you pick up the lotion at your house right now and flip it around, look on the back, you'll see the glucanol citrate and the preservative hydrolamine philosophy, whatever these things are. I don't know what that stuff is. They say it's not harmful to your body, but it's a chemical. And after a culmination of time, I believe that stuff is not good for you. Okay, so for me, that's when I reached out and started looking at some things I can improve in my own life. And one of the things I looked at is skin. I take care of a lot of seniors, and I proudly have the privilege of taking care of a lot of seniors. And when I've seen them, I tend to look at their skin. And when I look at their skin through age, which is a normal progression, we lose the suppleness of your skin. Okay? So for me, that kicked in something in my head of what can I do to slow that process down, or what can I do to help my skin stay as supple as possible for as long as possible. And then I thought about lotion. Lotion is something that for African Americans, we generally have to use it every day. If an African American don't use lotion, their skin gets rusty. And you've seen it. And it's not a pretty picture. My hands happen to get rusty every day because of what I do. I'm a physician assistant, and I have to wash my hands a whole lot. And at work, as a matter of fact, if I don't remember the last time I washed my hands, I get up and go wash them again. What that does is that takes the moisture out of my skin a lot, depending on what soap I'm using. And I've moved my soap to something that's more organic and less harmful to the skin. But after I do that, what I do is I put lotion on my hands to keep them nice and supple throughout the day. So with that being said, again, this is about lotion. And what I wanted to do is create a lotion that is as organic as possible, which means I want as few preservatives in the lotion as I can possibly produce. Okay? To start that process, what I did was I looked around on the internet and, word of mouth, a few health stores, and I started looking for a lotion base. Your lotion basically is a lotion base with all this other stuff in it. And most of what I'm trying to avoid is all this other stuff as far as the chemicals. The good stuff I want to keep. So I was able to go online and find a decent or a good lotion base. Okay, it did have some chemicals listed in it, but they were few. This was the best I can find at the moment. I'm still going to look around, so I'm not done looking. But what I did was, with this lotion base that I found, they ship it without the moisture, without the water in it. So they dehydrate it to a certain perspective. And when I say that, it still has a lotion quality, but it's not as supple as lotion would be. If you look at that, that's how it comes. And this is a dehydrated form of the lotion base. Okay. What you have to do with this once you get it is you have to get some distilled water. Okay. Don't go out and buy the $1,000 distilled water. It's not needed. Just get some distilled water from your grocery store, Walmart, Costco, Sam's. Get some distilled water. Ain't got to be $1 million. And that's what you're going to be adding to the lotion base to get to the consistency of the lotion. Okay? And the process you do that, or the process you use to do that, is you put some of the lotion base into a bowl. And what I chose to use is my mixing bowl here in the kitchen. And what I chose to use also is, oh, and by the way, mixing bowl came from the dollar store. That's where I got it from. And I also got my spatula or my mixer from the dollar store too. It costs, I think, 25 cents. Okay, but it's a regular old plastic mixer. Okay, something that wouldn't want to use wood because something could come off into the mixture and that sort of thing. So I chose to use plastic. But what you want to do is you want to add some of the lotion base into your bowl, and then you want to add water. Okay. Now I'm going to let you know what's recommended from the company that I found this at, and I'll list that on the video somewhere, so you'll be able to find it if you want to order some. But with this lotion base, what's recommended is 1 pound of the base, which is this. This is 1 pound of the base right here. What you want to do with that 1 pound of the base is you can add 1 pound of distilled water to get 2 pounds of thick cream. Okay, that's thick cream. Okay, now to give you a better understanding of this, because I had to look it up on the internet, I just didn't know what 1 pound of distilled water would be. So, of course, I went on the internet and just looked it up. But 2 cups of distilled water equal 1 pound. Okay, so it takes 2 cups, and what I use to measure my cups with is a regular old measurer. Again, dollar store or some other place, you don't have to buy them expensive. 2 cups of distilled water equals 1 pound of the, or you want to mix it with 1 pound of the lotion base to get 2 pounds of thick cream. Okay, and it goes up from there. I'm not going to get into a long calculus of measurements, so just keep in mind that 1 pound of the lotion base, I'll be mixing that with 1 pound of distilled water, which will be 2 cups of the distilled water for the 1 pound. Or rather, I'm going to mix 1 pound of the lotion base with 2 pounds of distilled water, which will be 4 cups of the distilled water to get 3 pounds of light cream. And from there, I'm going to look at the consistency of my lotion and decide if I want to make it a little thicker or or make it a little thinner is what it is. But with the other ingredients I'm going to be adding, those things will also be things that will make it a little thicker, looking at what those components are. So we got the measurements down. Now, the components I chose to put inside my lotion base are, found some aloe vera, probably got it from Walgreens, Walmart, someplace like that. But what I did was I found the aloe vera and I looked on the back, and I looked for aloe vera with as few chemicals in it as possible. Again, I'm still looking, but I got some tropic sun that had the less chemicals in it as I can see that particular day. But again, I'll be adjusting this. Aloe vera, good for your skin. Helps to heal cuts and wounds, and it has a lot of other claims, but in general, it's good for your skin. And I found some cocoa butter, which I used the same basic process. Looked around until I found one that had as few chemicals in it as possible, and this was what I found. It's called Studio 35 Beauty. I got it from Walgreens. They got that. Studio 35 is pretty inexpensive, and it seems pretty good, so I got that. I got the cocoa butter, wanted to use some of that. Also, it's a substance or a product that's said to be good for the skin. What I got also was some vitamin E. With vitamin E, there's scientific evidence that supports the fact that vitamin E is good for your skin. So got some of that. And again, used the same process. Looked on the back and found a vitamin E compound that was as much vitamin E and as little chemical as possible. So I found that. And I found some 100% glycerin. Glycerin makes your skin shiny, and I'm sure it'll help the skin, or it says on here, aids in repair of dry and damaged skin and hair. Some I've read about in the past. It's supposed to be good for your skin also. This particular brand I got here is called Africare. Don't remember where I found this at, but if you look up Africare, I'm sure you can find it. It wasn't expensive, and I'm going to use this. It's 100% pure glycerin. And the last and final ingredient I decided to add was shea butter. Now, shea butter you can find in a lot of places, from hair stores to the Afrocentric stores to the uh, to the we have a thing called Memphis in May here in Memphis. That's where I am. And you go down there and you have vendors that will have the shea butter compound. And this is what that looks like. It comes like this. It's fairly thick, so you're going to take it and you're going to mix, and I'm going to mix some of this into the compound also, which I think will give it a thicker consistency. Okay, so those are the ingredients I chose to use in mine. And I started off with about 1/3 of the ingredients. Of that amount, 1/3 of a cup of the ingredients. That's what I was going to add to the compound. And with that, I took 1/3 cup of everything. When I got done with that, it just didn't look like it had enough of the extra ingredients I wanted to have in it. So I moved to 2/3 of a cup of everything that I mentioned here. And with that, I think I'll get the consistency and the components inside the lotion that I'm really reaching to give me a good solid product with all the good things in there for my skin. So with that being said, I'll just go ahead and show you basically how it's instructed on instructions to put the compound or put the lotion together, and what you'll get if you do it from what I see right. Okay, so with the lotion, again, you put some of the lotion inside of your mixing bowl. And what I did after that, and also is another part to this, you want to get your distilled water and you want to heat it up to per the directions to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, 65 degrees Celsius. So you want to have it warm. I'm sure that has something to do with helping to hydrate your lotion base, but that's what's recommended. So what I did is got one of my pots off the stove and put the amount of water, distilled water I wanted to have in it. And as I added the lotion, I would add the water to make sure I got a good consistency while I was mixing it. And I was doing it slowly and a little bit at a time so I don't water it down or put too much into it or get beyond the consistency of the lotion I want to have. And I've done that quite a bit prior to making this, and then I decided to sit down and go ahead and put it on film. And what I got pretty much is a consistency of the lotion, which is like this. Okay, so my lotion base is at that point where the lotion is pretty much in a good format or in a good component. I'm looking for the word mixture. Okay, so the mixture is like I want it to be, and that's what you want to find when you're dealing with the lotion. This is the consistency. Or rather, no, this is not one of those kind of videos where I'm going to tell you what to do. This is the consistency I like. You might like a different consistency. I'm going to probably thin it out just a little bit more to make it easier to go on the skin, but I think this is a good consistency. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and finish this up and get it the way I want it, and I don't have much more to put in there. And again, as I was saying, this is 1 pound of the lotion base. Oh, by the way, I didn't say it, but today is my birthday. 47 years old. So I'm mixing a batch of lotion, my first batch, on my 47th birthday. And didn't say this either. My son is my chronicler.
So how's it going? Maurice Jr. checking in.
So he's behind the camera for me right now. I finally had to get someone because I was getting tired of trying to hold the camera and film at the same time. So I'm going to get as much out of here as I can and put it in here. And as I said, you want to mix water at 65 degrees Celsius, 150 degrees Fahrenheit to your mixture. And I just use my cup holder or my cup measure to help me do this. And to start with, I put the appropriate amount of, as I told you, measurements were at the front end in there, so I know exactly how much I'm using. And basically, I'm looking at the consistency of the lotion, which is going to help me decide to add more water or not to add more water. I got a pretty good consistency here now, but it's just a little bit thick. So I'm gonna add some more water. Oh, by the way, I did add a little bit more water to this because I wanted it to be warm enough for me to get the consistency I wanted to get with the lotion that I'll be using. So, and you just have to mix it up. Whatever technique you use to mix it up, it's on you. I'm sure if you want to go high tech and get a mixing blender, you can do what you want to do. It's your world. But I'm doing it by hand so I can pretty much control the consistency myself and get a feel for how thick it is as I move my hand around. You don't have to rush. Take your time. And I will tell you this is something I've seen on the front end. This is lotion. It's not something that I'm going to eat. So when I put my distilled water in there at first, I thought my pot was clean, but evidently it wasn't. I had little dots and whatnot in there. So to avoid having that, which will show up real bad in your lotion, you want to make sure you clean everything before you start. There's no sterile technique to this because, of course, this is going on your skin. But you want to make sure that you got the right consistency and you're not putting other things in here. Because after all, like I said on the front end, my purpose for doing this is to get lotion that has as organic a base as I could get. And I think I've done pretty good with that so far. All right. You pretty much know what I'm doing here, so I'm going to take a little break and put some other things together. When I come back, I'm going to let you see what I've done.